Have you used mentors in your life? Has that been sort of a part of your growth as a person? I'm going to give you my examples here, and I think it's really important. And I think if you are a business owner and you've achieved any level, and it doesn't have to be laying on the beach drinking pina colada level success, like anything at all. I actually think that we have a duty to disseminate what worked for us to other people that are trying to figure it out. So when I was 11 years old, there was a family friend who was a very successful businessman, and I've always credited him as kind of my business mentor, and to this day, I mean, sadly he passed away, but to this day I actually don't know if he knew he was being a mentor to me. But what he did do was show me how business works. He showed me the basic functions of how a business will end up making money. Certain lessons of like, you have to leverage your time. You have to understand that, it doesn't matter, sort of, I don't know, as an example, like Jeff Bezos has 24 hours in the day, the same as I do, all right? But he makes a heck of a lot more money than I do every day, because he is, however I want to do, he is more effective at managing his time than I am. But at the same time, I'm also more efficient at managing time than perhaps somebody else, and so it's my responsibility to get that information out there. So one of the things that I do a lot is I do offer to mentor pretty much anybody in the business field. The reason I wanted to make this video is and why I believe mentors are so important, is a mentor that I didn't have was in the financial aspect. And I have never, I would say only in the last like 5 or 6 years, I've actually realized how limiting that has been for me. And, I guess what I'm trying to say here is it doesn't matter what you're good at in your life, get that information out there. I don't care if it's one-on-one, I don't care if it's in an article, I don't care if it's on a video, just get that out there. Because like I said, I never really had a financial mentor. So when I started building businesses, and with the help of my mentor and so forth, with lessons that he had taught me, and I started doing them, that they did very well. The problem was that I didn't have the tools, the mental tools to handle the financial aspect of it very well. So, I ended up living like a rock star and then wondering where all the money went. And so that was something for me that I realized about 5-6 years ago that was missing. And it was very difficult to go and find the right information, because and here's why I think mentors are important, because when you go out and try and find that information, sadly, most of the information out there is people trying to sell you something. And that just sucks, because you end up getting really bad information because it's going to make that guy down the street an extra $1,000 to sell his course to you. So I think, I think the financial element is immensely lacking, like right across the board. I think nowadays with business, every Tom, Dick and Harry has an opinion about how to run a business and so forth, and there's so much content out there, but I still see lacking a lot of good financial advice. And the problem I think with that is because it tends to be the stuff that your parents told you. Well, you got to save. Well, you should invest in stocks and this. Well, anybody that went through 2008 will know that investing in stocks and shares sucks. Okay, because it's not real. All right, because all of a sudden your value just vanished in thin air. I mean, so those type of things, I think it's really important. So I guess I think what I would probably like this video to actually create, is a list of people who who are happy to mentor out to anybody. If you've got particular skills, whether I don't care what it is. Put it out there so people can actually contact you and maybe ask for your mentoring. Don't charge people to mentor, All right. I mean, that's not, and I've seen business owners do this. They charge for their mentoring, and I don't know. I think that's terrible. You shouldn't have to pay for information. And and for me, I think when it comes down to the idea of mentoring people trying to start a business, sure, as business owners, again, we're trying to leverage our time. So the reality of spending 4 hours with somebody, one-on-one for free doesn't make any sense at all. But can you offer them a quick few pointers to get them on their way? Sure, that's not going to harm you in the long run. And I think at some point, and I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of do this more on scale, rather than kind of the one-on-one, which I've done quite a lot of, certainly in the last year or so. One of the things I noticed about one-on-one mentoring is I tend to repeat the same things over and over again, and so I can't help but wonder, thinking maybe I should be doing this in a better scaled version, because it's kind of the same questions. It's always the same. It's like, how do you come up with the right idea? How do you know it's going to work? What do you do when it's not? How do you it's kind of those same questions. So I guess this is really what the video is about, is whatever skill you have, if you see somebody who's seeking that information, give it to them, right? A lot of, you'll have some people, I have a lot of people asking for mentoring, but I also know that sometimes with me proactively reaching out, especially on LinkedIn, this has happened a lot, where I've said, oh, hey, thanks for the connect. If there's anything I can ever help you with, let me know. Bang, I get a message back. Actually, I'm trying to do this. And that's an important thing. So sometimes you have to open the door, because, people are respectful of other people's time, pretty much. And so they don't want to trouble you. So sometimes it's important to do that. But I think just, certainly as business owners, I think we owe it to, our fellow man and the future generations to not let them learn the same learning curve we did. Let them benefit from our learning curve so they can create a new learning curve. Okay, if you've got opinions on this, leave them in the comments below. If you do want to mentor anybody, and just so I'm saying it, not if you're charging money, don't put it in the comments here. But if you do want to mentor somebody, you're open to that idea, put it in the comments so other people can see it, okay? I would love for this to, sort of grow as a movement. Like I said, I try and help everybody I possibly can. So leave them in the comments. I look forward to reading them.